Is there a most influential phone of all time? The design, the external and internal that changed the industry the most? We've had almost 30 years of possibilities, from the earliest Ericsson R380 to the very latest and utterly fabulous iPhones, Oppo and Samsung folding devices. I've been looking back across all form factors, all countries, all manufacturers, all smartphone OS, and I'll give you the top 4 at least. And I'll take them in chronological order, since I'm nothing if not a tech historian. First up, the point where convergence hit its apex. The N95 was the first smartphone with everything included, and all in such a tiny frame. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, stereo speakers, media controls, cutting-edge camera for the time, a mature multitasking operating system with powerful web browser, again for its time, plus free offline maps for over 100 countries, and real-time voice navigation for a small upgrade fee. For the first time, you didn't need a separate music player or camera or GPS or navigation device. All of this was now in your phone. The N95 was a force of nature in the market. It sold over 10 million units, breaking into the non-geek markets for the first time. I saw many N95s out and about, even used by people who didn't appreciate all the power in their pocket. The downsides of the N95 were its plastic construction, alternately robust and fragile depending on use, and its limited RAM 64 meg and battery 950 mAh, both of which were rectified in this, the N95 8 gig, a year later. So yes, before the iPhone 4, phones were mostly chunky plastic, however clever their insides and hinges and even buttons. The iPhone concept had been going for 3 years, a full touchscreen computer with desktop-class web browser and a clever touch interface and keyboard, even if you had to charge it overnight. Not a given pre-2007. But the iPhone 4 was a complete redesign in terms of materials. It raised the bar for everything else that was to come, right up until the present day. Gorilla Glass front and back. A stainless steel frame that doubled as its cellular and Wi-Fi antennae, improving reception, well, usually, and simplifying the internal design. This was the point where I referred to this iPhone as jewellery, and I stand by this. In addition to its technical pros, the iPhone 4 is gorgeous even today. It feels $1 million. I pick it up and I want to use it. Sadly, modern iOS apps can't even be installed on it, but this is a 16-year-old device now, so, well. Also hugely influential was the high-resolution display, Retina, at 326 pixels per inch, that bested even the best of Nokia, and the pixel grid can't really be seen by the naked eye in regular use. This became the bar against which every future phone display was measured. As the first phone to use microSIM, the iPhone 4 heralded a new space-saving age for phone internals, and every manufacturer followed suit quickly because, well, why not? In fact, Apple did this again for the iPhone 5 2 years later with Nano SIM, and we still have that in 2026. More firsts. We had FaceTime video calling working over 3.5G or Wi-Fi, vastly easier and cheaper to use than traditional 3G video calling as run by networks. And since then we've had the likes of WhatsApp and Teams. They've copied the model, of course. Video calls are now everyday occurrences. Then there was the first Apple-designed chipset, the A4, breaking away from using third parties in order to deliver the very best optimizations all round. And Apple is still doing this today. We're up to the A18 or A19 now, I think. Finally, the iPhone 4 introduced the first attempt at high dynamic range, HDR, built into the camera system. No more bracketing shots, assembling them by hand. It wasn't quick, but you can see the results here, available to everyone. Now, while Apple was playing with HDR, Nokia's Skunkworks team had been playing with a whole new concept, computational photography, in the Nokia 808 here, whereby a massive sensor, almost an inch, in 2012, and 41 megapixels, unthinkable at the time, captured everything in enormous detail. Then a custom Toshiba custom image processor rated it working with over 1 billion pixels a second, took the massive data, oversampled it to eliminate noise, and spat out a 5 megapixel pure photo. This worked so well that the 808 was still winning camera phone and smartphone shootouts in 2015, 3 years later. The computational system also allowed for lossless zoom up to 2.5 times using smart cropping into the big sensor. Although the Nokia 808 itself was no more than a plaything of a smartphone, outdated in terms of apps and limited by its use of Symbian OS in 2013, the computational ideas form the basis of most phone camera processing today, both unzoomed and zoomed. Now I'm going to surprise everyone by name-checking the Android-based Pixel Fold original here. It wasn't a big seller, partly because it was so expensive, partly because it's just Google and not Samsung, so it had limited marketing, and partly because it married the Surface Duo hinges, yay, with a Samsung folding screen. But there was enough of a gap top and bottom that detritus could enter and cause issues behind the fragile plastic display. But I contend that Google's original Pixel Fold was spot on in terms of form factor. I said so at the time, and I'm now being proven right by Apple's upcoming iPhone Ultra, which is sure to spawn a whole range of copycats. Squat and unfolding into a 6x5 landscape display, there was room for 2 regular apps side by side if needed, and just as importantly, room for decent video playback with top and bottom black bars significantly smaller than when trying to do the same on Samsung's taller folders. The Pixel Fold had a decent processor and 3 camera setup plus stereo speakers, but its biggest downside, other than dirt getting in, was the reflectivity of the internal display. But I'm still rating it as hugely influential in my eyes because of the form factor and aspect ratio. But of these 4 devices across almost 2 decades, I rate the 16-year-old iPhone 4 as the most influential overall. The number of firsts it presented was off the charts, refining the smartphone as a piece of industrial design, setting the standard for display density, establishing a new SIM format, a new way of video calling and taking HDR photos. And it's still stunning today.